It's Friday night, which is one of the busier days to deliver pizza. I knew I had to take advantage today because today and the weekend are really the only times I'll have a chance of making some decent tips. It felt like a normal Friday to me, just delivering pizza and coming back to the store, stashing my tips in a locker and eating free pizza. It was only free whenever a customer would order for carryout and never come pick it up. Just when I thought it was another Friday night as a delivery driver, it turned out to be the complete opposite. It was about 12 a.m. right now, and the store is about to close in an hour, and we hate when they order this late. By the time everyone is trying to clean up the store and leave exactly at 1 a.m., it was my turn to deliver, and when the receipt printed out, I noticed there was no pre-tip added, so that means I would have to wait for the customer to sign it. It's just a regular order for 4 large pepperoni pies. After loading the pizzas into my car, I headed out of the store. I was honestly just ready to go home at this point because it was really late. Thankfully, it was only an 8-minute drive there. I pulled up to this old house that doesn't even have a driveway. It was more like a gravel road and had cars parked all in it. I parked my car next to their mailbox and began to unload the pizzas. Ever since the COVID pandemic, Domino's makes us do contactless deliveries now, which means we would set their food down on the floor and wait for them to pick it up. I rang their doorbell, sat their pizzas on the floor outside the door, and had the receipt and pen waiting for them to sign. I stood back 6 foot and waited for someone to open the door. Thankfully, it was a normal guy who answered and apologized about ordering this late. He even gave me a $20 tip, which was nice. However, the thing that haunted me the most wasn't the house. It was some guy that was waiting outside next to my car. I had my car running and the doors were unlocked because I usually don't take that long dropping off the pizzas. I barely noticed him until I tried walking back to my car, and for some odd reason, when he saw my presence coming back to my car, he tried to casually act like nothing happened and walked away towards the sidewalks. I loaded my car with the hot bag and locked my doors. This guy was really making me uncomfortable because he was still lingering in the background. I drove past him on my way back and saw him in person closely. He had a hoodie on and had both hands in his pocket, slowly walking down the neighborhood sidewalk. We both made eye contact as I drove off. The question is, does this guy even live in that neighborhood? I don't even know what his motive was that night, but I sure frightened the hell out of me. When I got back to the store, I told my manager about the strange guy, and he said just to be careful, and if they have a weapon, then just give them everything you have because it's not worth your life. This didn't help me at all because I still couldn't get that man out of my head. I tried my best not to think about it and finished mopping the floor and taking out the trash. I tried my best to gather all the trash bags and make one route. I was super nervous at this point and scared because it was pitch black outside. I had to make this quick, so I rolled all the bags towards the trash and unloaded them one by one, constantly checking back and forth in all directions. Nothing, just the empty darkness of the night. No strange man. I rolled the can back into the store, running as fast as I could. I slammed the door shut and gasped for air as much as I could. By this time, my manager had turned off all the lights and was getting ready to lock up the store. He asked if I was ready and why I looked like I've seen a ghost. I told him nothing. I'm fine. I grabbed my tips for the day and left the store with him. He said just don't think about it too much. I think it's gotten into your head. Maybe he was right. After getting home, showering, and finally laying down on my bed, I fell asleep like a baby, and my body was sore and my head clearly needed some sleep. I woke up again and was still laying on my bed, and when I squinted my eyes, I saw the most frightening thing to ever happen in my entire life. It was the guy in the hoodie standing next to my closet. I screamed and woke up for real this time. There was nothing anymore, just my closet door opened, exposing the darkness. It was just a nightmare. I went to pee and fell back to sleep. No more nightmares after that. It was all just inside my head. After a long week of school, it was finally Friday night. My parents were going to be gone and I had the house all to myself. I invited my best friend Brian over so we could play video games tonight. I don't usually get the house to myself often, so I couldn't miss this opportunity. It was just going to be us two, alone. We decided to order some pizza and have it delivered to us. Keep in mind, it was raining hard outside and thundering, so I kind of felt bad. Brian said he was going to make it up for him and give him a nice tip for coming all the way out here. I agreed. That was the best option. Then we both continued playing our video games. We were playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies, which was a favorite of ours since the first Zombies came out. After some time went by, I noticed we haven't had anyone ring our doorbell yet, which was very strange. I checked my phone and remembered ordering the pizza almost half an hour ago. I figured they were just busy and told Brian, let's just continue, the pizza will be here soon. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, we heard a car passing by. Brian said, he's finally here. We rushed to the window and peeped through the blinds. Unfortunately, there was no sign of a pizza delivery car anywhere nearby. It was just a white van that pulled up. I've never seen it before. I guess it was just one of the neighbor's friend. This is really upsetting because it's now been almost 45 minutes and our stomachs were starting to growl. I was getting ready to call the store for an update until I noticed through the blinds a group of large men stepping outside of the white van. They were talking back and forth to each other, and then after a few minutes, they started making their way towards my front lawn. I immediately ran from the blinds and got Brian. I told him everything, and we ran to turn off all the lights and video games. The front door was locked, so there was no way they would have came in. I didn't hear any doorbells, but I could have sworn they were walking towards my front door. It was a straight shot. Who were these people? Brian asked. I told him I had no clue. We're not supposed to be expecting guests, especially not today since my parents were gone. Maybe they were trying to sell us something. Who knows? We were upstairs, hiding under my bed, waiting for the doorbell, or at least some type of knocking, but nothing. It was dead silent. This was super strange. After a few minutes of waiting in terror, I got out from under the bed and checked my blinds inside my room. I still see the white van outside, but no strange people. And suddenly, I could see from the distance a car pulling up to our driveway. It had a topper on it that was lit up. It was a domino sign, lighting up the car nice and bright. We didn't know what to do because those guys could still be lurking out there, and my parents wouldn't be home till tomorrow morning. We figured it would be safe since he would be another witness, just in case anything happens. We were just kids, so I doubt we can take on a group of fully grown men. Suddenly, the doorbell rang, and we both screamed. Yeah, I know, we're pretty stupid. We ran down the stairs and checked the blinds, and it was, in fact, the pizza delivery guy, and he was alone. I opened the door cautiously, and he greeted us and apologized for the long wait. He said the store was super busy, and tons of people were ordering pizza, and they didn't have enough drivers. I told him it was fine and gave him the nice tip from Brian. I asked him if he saw any people outside. He said, nope, nobody besides me. We laughed as he waved us off. We finally got our food and didn't get murdered. I gave Brian the pizzas and told him to bring it into the living room so we can eat and play. I checked the blinds one more time to make sure nothing suspicious was happening. Nothing. Just a Domino's guy driving off in his car, and the white van was gone, apparently. I don't know when they left, but it's not here anymore, which is good. I didn't know what to think of it, but I didn't care anymore, as long as they're not here. I told Brian everything, and we both just laughed it off and enjoyed the rest of our night playing video games and stuffing our bellies with pizza.